One of my favorite guests, and I just look forward every month to talking with Stephen Lewis, who is co-founder of Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness, which is EMC Square. He is calling in from the great Northwest, and we really love to hear him. He really is I want to call him a philosopher, but he is a scientific person. He does a lot of very interesting things, and it's all under he's been the developer of the AIM program, which is the all-inclusive method program of energetic balancing. If you want more information, go to aimprogram.com, and then you'll really understand a lot of what he's saying. Some of it might be over your head, but just be glad that he's taking the time to do this to help all of us. So, welcome to our show, Stephen.
And thank you, as always, for having me.
Well,
it's always been an honor.
Well, it's a highlight of my shows. Really?
Well, thank you.
And you do get our magazine, don't you? You get Boomer Times.
I don't. Maybe the office gets it.
Oh, I ought to send it to you personally there. So I think maybe when we're finished...
I communicate with the office every day because my work is done here. As long as I have the internet, it doesn't matter.
Well...
however, no, I don't get it.
Okay.
But you know what?
I want you to get it, so I'm going to mail it to you.
Absolutely fine.
Okay, so we'll get an address after offline, but we'll do that. So I really want to do that. Okay, so 2015, where are we headed, and what do you think is going to be happening to this crazy world we're in?
Well, I can describe something a lot of different ways, and they all have different emotional overtones and undertones. So let's say that I believe 2015 will be pivotal in the process of our planet healing itself. And that, of course, everyone would say is a good thing. The planet must heal itself. To do that, I do believe there will be and must be a thinning out of the herd. And I think that's going to happen. I think it's happening right now. And more we see it.
You mean with Ebola?
And anywhere you look,
are you
you're
looking?
going to find someone whose lives touch yours and where someone is transitioning. And I think everyone knows that. And that's what's happening. The other side of that coin, very simply, is most people on AIM, as of now, have no remaining hereditary imbalances. Now, if someone hasn't listened to the program before, listen to me. That is a very, very big deal because I believe fundamentally you die, you transition from what you brought with you. We have all these hereditary diseases, and as you age, the barrier between you and them becomes eroded and weakened till there is no barrier. And by the way, that process happens in no time at all if you have an immune deficiency disorder, which is a whole different story. But when that happens, whenever hereditary becomes active, and whatever you had fulfills its potential. If you have hereditary heart disease, it becomes very regionally active heart disease. The same is true for cancer. The same is true for diabetes, and on and on and on. So, to say that most people on AIM, including you, do not have any remaining hereditary disease frequencies is saying a great deal. Because, in short and in essence, what is there to become active when there ain't nothing there?
Yeah, that's true.
You are the first, for example, in the history of your family to have no family history. So what is there is weakening you? What is there that's dragging you down? What is there that is the vulnerability within you that other things will be able to pick on or attack? I don't know. I can't see any. I know. Now, to carry this to its logical extreme, we don't know. We'll know more as things happen. I mean, every year is another year older, etc. And we're watching you, we're watching me, we're all watching each other. But this is the good news frame. But again, it's as most coins are, it has two sides. And the other side is that those whose consciousness does not expand in keeping with the need for a higher consciousness will fundamentally not be part of the planet anymore. That process is beginning, and it will manifest very strongly in 2015 in the cities. That's the news to date. I think it's pretty significant.
Well, it sounds that way. I was thinking about, though, Africa, and, the world now is China. It's, it's not just the United States. So when you say these things, are you taking into account everyone?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you take some third world country that hasn't changed in thousands of years and does not have any kind of biological warfare, doesn't have fundamentally any contact with the advanced science of the rest of the world, for them, perhaps life will not change much. That is a strong possibility. But most countries now have really entered the 21st century. And they're using the same technology, using the same types of weapons, having the same types of weapons used on them. So that's what I'm talking about. If that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, it does. And I think what you have shared for so long on so many of your shows, actually, Stephen, is that healing yourself, it's a whole mental capacity. You can't just let this out there and just be frivolous. You have to really understand what energy is, and you have to understand. You can't feel it, you can't touch it, but it's there, and you have to somehow almost take it in and just make it.
Anita, energy it just is. I can tell you everything about it in 1 second. It is. Period. Nothing else to say, because there is nothing else about it. It has no smell. It has no taste. It has no size. It has no time. It has no space. It ain't got nothing. It is. We take this stuff that's ubiquitous and we give it format, we give it size, we give it dimension, we give it properties. We do that with our consciousness. Consciousness takes this ubiquitous wave of energy and turns it into particles, particulate matter, the stuff that we call life. Consciousness is what is determining everything in our lives right now. Perhaps always, but now you hear that term, consciousness, a great deal more than you ever did. Even without understanding it, people perceive there's something about it. And having something not in your consciousness means something. It means a lot more than it meant to people, say, 20 years ago. Are you following what I'm saying, by the way?
Yeah, I am. And I was going to, I think I may have mentioned this last month, the Hawkins story, Stephen Hawking. Did you ever get a chance to see that movie or see what that's all about? Because talk about energy. I mean, he's the epitome.
No, I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't been online, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
I've been looking online.
Yeah.
And I've been looking in, I'm in a kind of small town. And we get first-run movies and all that, but they're not huge everywhere. And I have not been able to find it.
Okay, so it's something of everything. It's I forget what the other word is there. But you should be able to. I think it's going to win an Academy Award. But the whole story, of course, is why is this man able to outlive anyone who's had ALS, and he has such powerful energy?
I understand that. But there are a lot of other questions. And the most pivotal question in my world would be, why is he not healing his ALS? He's using technology to deal with his ALS. He's using courage to deal with his ALS. And he's extraordinary, and everyone knows that about Stephen Hawking. But right now he is not, as far as we can see, able to heal his ALS. For me, from my perspective, the question is, why is he not healing his ALS?
Good question.
And, that's not a short question with a short answer. It's a long, long, long list of answers, and they coalesce and they combine. And to a great extent, the answers to that question are Stephen Hawking. But that's my work. That's what it's all about.
Right.
I mean, it's a difference between courage and healing, well-being. There is a difference. And we all are in awe of his amazing courage. However, we all recognize his difficulties in life. Our work has to do with helping him heal whatever imbalances, whatever problems he has.
So let's just get, for the general public who maybe haven't listened to a lot of shows, how are they going to heal themselves? Can you actually put that in some sort of a context of words that they're listening, they're saying, what do you mean heal myself? How am I going to heal myself?
Well, it's interesting because, healing is one of the oldest words in our language. We've always spoken of healing and never quite been sure what the hell we're talking about. It's the same phenomenon for a paper cut as it is for cancer. It's just a matter of degree and extent. If you have a paper cut, you can bet the family jewels on the fact that you're going to heal it. If you have active cancer, I wouldn't be so eager to make that bet if I were you. Now, to understand a little bit better, Anita, if you had active cancer, I would say, well, how can that be? Because cancer is hereditary. Did you have it? Sure, most people do. Do you have it? No, you healed it. You healed that frequency. I do not think you're capable of having the imbalance at this time. I think that frequency of cancer is not a possibility in you.
Stephen, can it ever come back? I mean, you've healed all our hereditary problems, but not hereditary symptoms, or what do we call it? Genes? No, what hereditary what?
Well, first of all, everything is energy. And there are frequencies. We're made of different frequencies. But frequencies control our DNA, etc. Can they come back? I say no, not at all.
Okay.
Even if you're a born-again Christian, that ain't going to do it.
Okay.
If it's gone, it's gone. Now, if you treat something and it goes into remission, can it come out of remission and come back? Absolutely so. But if you heal something, it's healed, it's gone. Whether you do it with someone's help or you do it without any help, if it's healed, it is gone.
Okay. That's fantastic.
And most healing in the world takes place on our own. Get back to that alleged paper cut. You don't go to a paper cut specialist when you get one. You just continue with your life, and it's gone. I mean, I've had 1,000 paper cuts. Look at my hands; I can't see any of them.
That's true. That's a good point.
But if you have something more profound, that you need help in that process of healing it, then if you need help, it changes the parameters quite a bit. And that sheet of paper does give a list of the helpers you've had. So, where am I? Did I lose your question?
No. That's excellent. Well, so this is the other question. So when someone joins the program, the AIM program, and they fill out their form and they send it to you, and they always start at a life force which is pretty much zero. What is making it rise? It definitely rises. Some, very slowly. Sometimes a little bit more. What's causing that? Why doesn't it just, as soon as you get on the AIM program, why doesn't it just happen? Boom.
Because healing takes time.
Mm.
You need to change you fundamentally. You need to change your DNA. You need to change everything about yourself, and you do it. But that takes some time. How much time varies upon you, and then it's different from person to person. And it's different for someone starting it right here and now today than it was starting when you started.
Oh, really?
When I started.
And why is that?
Because I've found so many unknown imbalances. So they're all found for now on the program. Because I can't help you heal or deal with any imbalance unless I have it in my database. And that's part of what's special about 2015. I believe I have fundamentally everything that affects us in my database, in our database. I say fundamentally rather than totally because there's always going to be somebody somewhere who has some imbalance that only he or she has. Some weird thing or whatever. So, but let's speak about basically and fundamentally. If you are on the AIM program, have been on for a couple of years or so, or more, you have no imbalances left. This is it.
That is amazing.
Or you're detoxing the last one. Some people will be another imbalance. And some people.
But it doesn't mean that any of us then can't die from something. You're just saying it's this particular, all the hereditary balances are gone, but there are always new diseases coming on.
Well, you will catch everything and anything you're meant to catch. That is not relevant. The problem is not what you catch or don't catch. The problem is what you don't overcome. Okay?
Yep.
you're going to catch whatever's there in the air. And here and now, in our day and age, it's just about everything because there's no longer any geographic integrity. For most of history, a disease frequency was in Africa, stayed in Africa, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No more. Now everyone comes to Africa and look at Ebola. And now it's here. And it will be here. And I will acquire that imbalance, and so will you. I believe that. And I believe that we'll feel lousy and then get better, and that'll be it. Because you don't have any weaknesses in your body where this disease can latch on and hang in. You don't have any place for it to be comfortable. You don't have that weakness. And so it'll be there, you'll feel lousy, then you'll get better. And then you'll be fundamentally immune to it.
Amazing.
And that is the way it's supposed to be.
So I think it's at this time that I really need to get people to join the AIM program. I mean, how could you not do this?
I think it's a critical time.
I do too. I don't know how you cannot do this. I just don't understand it. Why don't you start off by going to their website, which is aimprogram.com. And I told you what the AIM stands for, All-Inclusive Method. It's a program of energetic balancing. Do that. Now, if you want to talk to someone, I will give you a phone number. It's 1-877-500-3622. 1-877-500-3622. I have a lot of my friends on the AIM program, and even though, some of them don't have the privilege of talking to Stephen as I do, they can listen to the show, of course. It is so obvious. I know my husband is 91, and I'm really enjoying my life with him and doing things, and we don't get sick. And when we do get sick, as Stephen said, it comes and it goes very quickly. We really do.
I mean, I worked for many years, as you know, in Hollywood. I had a huge practice. And one of my closest friends was a legendary composer, conductor, etc. And he said, basically, you know what I'd really like to have, Steve? I said, what's that? He said, kind of like a full-body condom. And I said, you can't have that. It's not, you might catch what you're going to catch. It's whether you overcome it or not. Every year, there are, let's say in the U.S., 30,000 people or so who die from the flu. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same flu that you catch, your grandmother catches, and whatever, and so what? The difference is not the disease. The difference is the terrain, the environment, the fertile soil. The difference is what about you stops you from overcoming this offending disease. That is our work. When you have no weaknesses, it's just that. There's nothing it can hold on to. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. It's
and
lovely.
That's why I said you're the first in the Steele family with no family history.
It's lovely. And I'm remiss. I don't think I sent you Snowy's, our dog, her application. I have it sitting there. I think I may not have over the holiday, but we need to let people know that yes, it is not just humans. It's also pets and what else? Yes, that's it, huh?
Healing is not restricted to humans.
Right.
And it's not restricted to anything. Trees heal themselves, or they don't, and they die. Cats, everything does. Either heals itself, or it doesn't, and it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, healing is as old as life is. The question becomes, what is the difference between someone who heals himself from and of a given problem, and someone else has the same problem and does not, there's a difference. My work is, what is that difference? What is that difference energetically? What creates the difference in the terrain, the soil? You know, it's kind of funny. The father of the germ theory of medicine was Louis Pasteur. And, and he's given a lot of homage, etc. What was not discussed is that on his deathbed, he said, my life's work has been wrong. He said, it isn't the disease that matters. It isn't the germ. It's the fertility of the soil. It's that simple. If you don't have soil, terrain, environment that allows this imbalance to grow, it ain't going to grow, and you'll overcome it. So there is a big question. What's going to happen with Anita? What's going to happen with Anita Finley in the next 30, 40, 50 years?
Oh, I don't know.
Aren't you curious?
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's pretty good. What's going to happen with Stephen? Well, what's going to happen with Stephen?
And I told you before, Anita, I think most people will not get in the AIM program. I think somehow their instinct is we are meant to transition. I think they're right. But I think that question is when, number one, and more importantly, someone was 100,000, a couple 100,000, even 1 million people who violate that fundamental law. That doesn't change the 7 billion or so on the planet. So we can be like that, uncooperative as we are, and ultimately everything else will still be the same.
Well, it's 2015. We've just run out of time, but this was great. We'll have to do this next month and continue it. Stephen, thank you so much, and we will talk again. And I'm going to get your address. Don't hang up because I do want to get your address. Duff will get it. So thank you very much, and we'll just turn off the radio, and then we'll get back to the phone.